We live, work, and worship in a community that's growing rapidly. Over 150 new households move into our community every month. Over 100 new people move into the Nashville area every day, and the population of the Nashville area is expected to eclipse 2 million people in 2020, and it doesn't show signs of slowing down. Families and students and professionals are flocking to our community to find new opportunities to pursue their passions and to establish a home for themselves. There is endless potential here, and we want to be part of it. And we believe God does as well. We've witnessed, though, a reality in our culture, especially in our community, that within 10 minutes of our future location, there are 60,000 plus people who've never had a life-changing encounter with Jesus. 60,000 people who don't know that God is for them. If you expand that radius, the numbers increase exponentially. Now, here's the problem when it comes to church in our culture. For too long, the church in our culture has been known by what it's against instead of what it's for. But almost 4 years ago, we set out as a church to change that narrative. We want to be known by what we're for. We're for each other. We're for love. We're for kids and youth. We're for growth. We're for impact. We're for belonging and hope and purpose. We're for the kind of life transformation that can only happen through the love and grace of Jesus. We are for the community. And we're for all these things because we believe that God is for all these things. God is for the community. God is for people. God is for us. And as it says in Romans chapter 8, if God is for us, who can be against us? That's why the vision of the Village wasn't to build a great church for us. It was to build a great church for the community. The kind of church that would put the world-changing love of Jesus on display for other people to see and to experience. The kind of church that would, against better judgment and sound advice, give away its biggest offerings of the year so that thirsty people could have water, so that the most vulnerable people in our city could have a place to call home, so that hungry kids in our schools could have food on the weekends. We set out to be the kind of church that would be missed if we weren't here. And what started 4 years ago with 60 people crammed into a living room to pray and to dream has grown now beyond our imagination. Almost 600 people gather every week in a middle school to pray and to worship. Over 250 kids hear about the love of Jesus every month through our Village Kids. More than 100 youth show up to Village Youth on Sunday nights to learn what it means to follow Jesus. Over 100 people have said yes to following Jesus through baptism or a profession of faith. We've given away together more than $350,000 to local organizations and ministries, each making a deep impact on the community, both here and around the world. Now, we could stop and we could say we're content with that. We could pat ourselves on the back and we could say, well done, but we know that God isn't done with us yet. We envision so much more. More teens and kids coming to know Jesus, more lives changed and families transformed and stories rewritten, more people experiencing hope and joy and healing, a deeper impact in our community, more disciple-making, world-changing followers of Jesus per square inch living in Nashville and beyond. But as we continue to grow and work for a better community, it's becoming clear to us that our lack of a permanent facility is holding us back from being the church and doing all of the things that God has called us to do in the community. And so today marks the beginning of a new 3-year journey for the Village. We want to build a more permanent church home, a 24/7 ministry center at the epicenter of the growth in Davidson, Williamson, and Rutherford counties, so that we can continue to passionately pursue God's call for us as a church and to be a church for the community. We're dreaming of a place, I'm standing right now, where we'll eventually have a permanent ministry center, where we'll have events like weddings and baptisms and more, and where people will come to know about the life-transforming power of Jesus. But we're also dreaming of a facility where we can serve hungry people, where we can help people find healing, where we can host community events and support groups, where we can offer counseling. We want to build a facility that will be a physical representation of our longing to be a church for the community. A multi-purpose building that will increase our capacity for ministry so that we can continue to go into the community to reach and serve our neighbors with the love of Jesus. What comes next is up to you. We've taken some significant steps together in our short time together as a church, but this is the most significant step yet. This is a God-sized vision that's going to require God to do some things through us that we couldn't do on our own. This is going to require 100% of the people who consider the village their church home to join together in prayer and faithfulness and generosity. And so I'm inviting you to join us and to discover how God can be for the community through you.